Welcome to the 58th day of High Performance Entrepreneurship Series. This is brought to you by Tumawak, a community which dreams to reach 100 million entrepreneurs around the world. So, we have a saying in our community: dream big, aim high, start small. Start very small so that you can easily focus on what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily build a discipline around what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily master what you're doing. And once you do these three things, you're ready to be a high performance entrepreneur. That is when you become a scalable startup. Telling this, next, today we have Chris here. And to take this meeting forward, we have Beatrice, who is a senior project management professional, and a volunteer who supports us in the US region. Beatrice, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kabir, and thanks for hosting this room. Another really wonderful topic. And we do have Chris back with us. And thank you so much for joining. The topic today is voice, your power tool. We're looking forward. So, Chris is a consultant, voice coach, and presenter based in Dubai. He has a very extensive background. Senior presenter, producer, and programming head of two other stations in the UAE. He's a civil engineer by trade and has 19 years of experience. Was also a model, MC, compare actor. Just can't go on enough. But Dubai, dubbing artist and in media till date. So, Chris, we are so thankful and welcome you again to the Power of Entrepreneurs. So over to you, Chris, and thank you again.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. Thank you, Kabir. Thank you, Amin, and thank you, Sakshi. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Today, the aspect of voice, your powerful tool. If you actually listen to a particular voice, if it stays in your heart for some time, then you make an impact. If you hear a voice and you want to hear more and more, that gives the power to your voice. And when you're conveying your thoughts through your voice, that becomes your tool. Now, coming to think of the aspects of where voice is used, we are in an audio room, the voice is very important. You listen to radio, again, voice is very important. You listen to television as you see it, that also is very important. Come to think of it, your office, your home, everywhere, you keep listening to different voices. On an average, every day, you listen to at least about 20 or 30 voices. So, what can make it different is how you have to think on those lines to make your voice a better voice. Let's think of very famous taglines or commercials. In my case, I had been blessed with the opportunity to voice the main taglines of many commercial businesses and even radio stations for their liners. And that gave me a feeling that, yes, this is how it works. So there are a lot of aspects to your voice which works on radio, television, commercials, videos, and all that. But now let's come to a personal level. I'm sure every time you talk to a person, you understand that you're conveying something or the other. What the other person understands is totally different. Let's take the simple three-worded statement which everyone might have said at least once a lifetime. And those three words are, I love you. So if the stress differs, the meaning changes. If I have to say to somebody, who loves me? That's the question. Then I say, I love you. Then if somebody is asking, like, whom do you love? Then I say, I love you. But as a matter of fact, when you're conveying a heart's feeling, then probably you would say, I love you. And that makes the difference where one stress changes, the whole meaning changes. That is the tool which you're working with. That's why it is said the most beautiful instrument ever made in this world is your voice, and it's the most difficult one to play with. Now, let's look at the aspect of playing with your voice. Imagine a CEO or a head of a company or head of HR or anybody coming to speak to you, and he has a very thin voice, or maybe he's not able to express the voice in a proper way, or it's very monotonous. What will happen is probably you go to sleep, or you're least interested, or it doesn't make an impact. Now, is it changeable? Yes, it is changeable, where you can change your voice, you can make it sound better, you can give emotions as well as give it all the importance it needs. That makes the difference uh, when compared to all the other people in that crowd. So, when you use your voice as your tool, that leaves an impact in the person's mind. Just for extending the matter of modulation and the stresses, if I have to say, I didn't expect you to do this to me, I didn't expect you to do this to me is different from I didn't expect you to do this to me. I didn't expect you to do this to me will mean different. Again, the next stress, I didn't expect you to do this to me. So every time the stress changes, the meaning changes. 99% of household where problems arise is because of the difference in the stress. So knowing how to use your voice will change the scenario at your workplace, at among your friends, inside your family, and even for fun that can become a side income and you can start earning by being a voice artist. If you're not a voice artist, then today the world has opened up the whole new field called podcast. There, you have a space for yourself where you can convey your thoughts. If you say, I am not very good at writing, then yes, you have an avenue of having your own podcast. Imagine the whole world is out there waiting to listen to you. Now, in that case, you better have the right stresses and you have a better voice to present to the world. Then it becomes a tool to take you forward. So, on a first level, I said, on the official side, you can have a better voice to convey your thoughts, communicate, and make a difference amongst the crowd. Imagine you're attending a seminar. There, as a speaker, if the way you speak appeals to people, then you are the best among the lot. If you're attending an interview, of all the people who are scared, nervous, or some way or the other disturbed, if your voice speaks of confidence, then I'm sure nobody can take away that space from you. If you're looking at a home space, there, if you're speaking in the manner which appeals to everyone, then you save a lot of time avoiding conflicts and avoiding problems. That makes it a multifaceted tool which you have, but not yet used. Now, is it possible to train your voice? And the answer is yes. How much time does it take? The more you train, the more it becomes better and better. Imagine an English movie, and there the God's voice has been there for a very, very long time. The way the voice is put, it makes you feel that, yeah, it's something very special. So everywhere, each person you identify by the voice. Your favorite actor, you know his voice. The favorite singer, you know the voice. And every time you listen to a voice, there is an identity attached to it. And that's why they say your voice is your identity. Now, when you want to improve your persona, the first thing you can do is to change your attire. Maybe you can work out in the gym. But what do you do about your voice? Every person in this world can train their voice to be a better one and make it sound so good that people would want to listen to it more and more. So, that is the kind of ability you have to improve your voice and make a mark and leave it forever in a person's mind. There was a time when I started the profession as a voice artist, very, very long back. I should say at least about 20 years back. Now, that time, my voice used to be totally different. Now, each time I work on my voice, it improves more and more. Now, the question also would be, is there a time limit? When can I start? Anytime is good to start, and any voice can be trained. The only thing which will stop you from training your voice is either a medical condition where your voice is not very clear, or if you have any mental issue which prevents you from expressing your voice in the right fashion. Other than that, any person, any age can improve their voice to make it sound much more better. Now, how you do that, as long as you breathe, that's the basic stuff which we will work on every voice coach session, where the breathing is made proper. And as the breathing is proper, you will have a better voice. Imagine a kind of scenario where you want to sing a song. There also, the training of the voice is required. And other than singing, you can add emotions and make it sound really, really different. And these are the small aspects of a voice that will leave a mark. At the same time, imagine after many years, somebody picks up a recording of yours, a voice recording of yours, and listens to it and says, "Yes, I've listened to this voice, and I'd like to listen to it again and again." Starting from putting your child to sleep by telling a bedtime story, where you start off by saying, "Long ago, very long ago, no one knows how long ago, there lived a king. And the king had a very sweet prince or princess." So the story goes on, and that will make a difference. If you're say, coach, you need a good voice. If you're a teacher, you need ways to how not to let your voice go tired. As a singer, you need the strength in your voice to sing in the most beautiful way. All these are different aspects where you need the training, and you become a better voice that will lead you to success. On this note, I will leave the stage open so that any doubts or any questions you have, you can shoot it to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that great insights. Lot to developing the voice. Use it as a powerful tool. I just had a question. So, where would a person be to start in the last, just to improve their speaking? What that look like to improve? Does that take a class, or what would you recommend?
Voice coaches, they actually train you to become on different levels. A voice coach can train you to make you a better speaker, orator, a better storyteller, a better singer, or a better voice artist. Commercial voice artist is an entire field which is open to the world, and the kind of money a commercial voice artist makes is like, compared to other people, they charge in seconds. So you can imagine the kind of openings which are open to all people. But that is on a voice coaching level. On a personal level, regular breathing exercises which a voice coach can suggest can improve your voice day after day. So that is on a different level, where it's your personal level training. But other than that, if you want a specified training, that also can be done. So there are voice coaches. Like I personally, I'm a voice coach. I've trained more than about 4,500 students till date, and that ranges from the age 6 or 7 to people as old as 65, 66. And I've seen a 65-year-old, one of my students, he turned to be a commercial voice artist. So I have faith in my students, and I do feel that yes, everyone can achieve a better voice.
That is excellent. Thank you so much. That's excellent. It's never too late. Awesome.
It's never too late.
Yes, great. If we have questions from our panel on stage, Sakshi, would you like to share insight or have questions at this time? Sakshi, are you there or speaking on mute?
I think
Okay.
Sakshi has the glitch.
Okay, no worries. How about Amin? We have Amin. Would you like to share insights, or do you have questions at this time?
Yeah, I have a small question.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you explain the key components of voice training and how they contribute to vocal improvements?
Yeah, there are different levels where, on a basic level, it's like working out in a gym. You have voice warm ups, then you have breathing exercises, then you work on your stress and modulation, then it comes to clarity of speech. Again, you move on to specific areas like whether you want to be a commercial voice artist, whether you want to be a storyteller, whether you want to sing. All these aspects will have specialized levels. Even news, documentary, each field has a different kind of training which can be specified at a later stage. After the basics, you can move on to your specific area which you want.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for
Yep.
answering the question. And can you share what are the simple exercises that anyone can do to improve their voice?
Understanding breathing, that is the first aspect. Once you are breathing properly, that itself will improve your voice. Second, keep your voice hydrated. When you drink less water, when you get dehydrated, you're actually working on a muscle fiber, and that can damage. Avoid too much of shouting and screeching, and too much of very low voice also can hamper the voice. So these are things which needs to be taken care of. Even the kind of food you eat can make a difference. If you're eating a too spicy meal, that affects your voice. If you're having something very cold before speaking on a stage, or maybe you're going to sing, that also affects. So it is treated just like a muscle fiber in a gym. You're not supposed to like eat heavily before you go to a gym. Just like that, you have restrictions on how to use your voice. So these are just minor points which it goes into a specific. When you go into a specific training, you will actually understand these are the things which needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Can I ask one more question?
Yes, please.
Uh, what is the shortest span of time that anyone need to change their voice? If they are trying to change their voice, what is the shortest span of time they need?
Yeah,
Can you
if
share that?
yeah, when it comes to my students, when I train them, I give them specific exercises over a span of say about 5 to 6 hours. I explain the whole aspect of voice, and they have to continue the exercise for a minimum 7 to 14 days before their voice will start changing.
Okay, sir.
If you
Thank you.
For those who understand Hindi and have seen the famous actor Amitabh Bachchan, I would say his voice, which was rejected by All India Radio, the national radio, they said his voice was not good. That was the time when he walked into movies, and then he had a very thin voice. If you remember the old time movies, if you happen to see, say, Kabhi Kabhi, or any old movie, then his voice was as thin as saying that मैं और मेरी तन्हाई अक्सर ये बातें करते हैं. It was very thin. It moved on to a time, the 1980s, when the movie Shahenshah came in. So then you had him hear the voice, रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं, नाम है शहनशाह. And then he moved on to a different aspect where it comes to Agnipath, where the whole voice he used for that character was different, where he used something like, ये यहाँ पे टेलीफोन की घंटी बहुत बजता है. So there, the air, the throatiness, all those things gave each character a difference, but his voice started changing from a very thin voice to what we hear now. And today, I would say, he has one of the most assuring voices in the industry, even at this ripe old age.
Wow, sir. The examples are great. Thank you, sir, for answering my questions. Back to
You're
the
welcome.
artist.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. And we do have someone, Angelica. Hi, Angelica. Thank you for coming up to the stage for your questions and welcome. If you could state your name and what you do and your insights or questions, you can do so.
Hi,
Hi.
thank you so much, Beatrice. Well, my name's Angelica, and I work with children, and I work with families. I also am a filmmaker and a podcaster. So I think it's so important. The voice is really important. I remember watching a movie called That's Entertainment, and in the movie, it talked. They show how this actress who was gorgeous, and she was a silent film actress, but then then the sound started coming, and then as soon as she started speaking and everybody heard her voice, she had, "Hi, how you doing?" And it just turned the whole audience off. But it was funny in that movie. That's entertainment. So I think it's so important. The voice is so important when especially when you're giving a speech. You want to be able to have good inflection and to be interesting. And I think also, like you mentioned, take care of your voice. I'm really enjoying this talk, and what I learned from some of my friends who are singers is they'll drink tea and honey sometimes because they do a lot of singing, and that's one of the things that they do for their voice. Are there any other things that you suggest?
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much, Angelica. You have a very beautiful voice, I should say. Again, the aspect I would like to stress on is that when we strain our voice and we have some kind of a throat irritation or any kind of problem with our throat, the easiest way to get out is cinnamon powder mixed with warm honey. Mix cinnamon powder with warm honey and have it 3 times, and your voice will be the vocal cords would be back to normal. So that's the easiest hack you can have to get your voice back. And when you have a very hard day, you just need to hum, just like for a little period of time. It'll also bring back your voice to your normalcy. So these are things which are very minor aspects where these are hacks which you can use at any time.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I'm loving this talk, and thank you for the compliment, and thank you, Kabir, for bringing me up, and
You're welcome.
And Beatrice for introducing me.
Very welcome. Thank you, Angelica.
You're welcome.
Sakshi, are you audible? Would you like to share insight and have questions?
Yeah, Redress, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much, Redress. Hello, Dr. Chris.
Hello.
Hello. My question is like little related to it says sometimes that silence is the most powerful tool, or one should understand the power of silence. So just want to understand from you, how can one maintain that balance between when to use their voice and when to stay silent? Because I feel personally with me, sometimes my voice backfires on me. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes backfires on me. So, what is the way, or what is that? How do you maintain the balance?
Oh, the balance is a question of the mind. Like when you really want to express yourself, ask yourself, is it really necessary? Is it right for me to say that now? And will it harm me in any way? These 3 things, if you actually think, that'll give you the option of being silent or give you the voice. But at the same time, if you're looking to improve the way you speak, then the positive notes, whatever you're speaking, the positive notes would always require a little extra breath. Like if I'm telling a bedtime story, I wouldn't resort to saying, I want to tell you a story. I wouldn't go to that thinness, but I would actually ease myself, take a deep breath, and then I would probably would narrate the story like, I want to tell you a story which will put you to sleep. And as you sleep, you dream about the palaces, about the mountains, about the trees, and the birds, and the beautiful butterflies. So that makes it very flowy, and it actually makes you feel that, yeah, I'm seeing those. So giving visuals is what your voice has power. Like when you talk over the phone, if you're smiling, the other person sees that you are smiling. So these are things which will prompt you to use the breath in the proper fashion, once you're coached in how to speak, then these things would be behind your mind. It works like a back end, and it works just as I said during the earlier detailing about the power of voice. When you listen to Morgan Freeman, naturally we start thinking that, yeah, he has something to say. And Morgan Freeman's voice is considered one of the finest voice in Hollywood, and that makes the difference. So the amount of breath you take, the way you speak, the modulations, where you stop and where you pause, all these things really matter. So apart from using the silence, apart from using your body language, your voice has about 20 to 22% of usage where you can communicate in the best possible way and be the center of attraction.
Sure, got it. Thank you,
Yep.
Dr. Chris. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
That's amazing. 22. That is amazing. Thank you for that wonderful insight. We are learning so much. We have another question from Salman. Um,
Mhm.
Hi, Salman. If you can just introduce yourself and say what you do and share your insights or questions.
Hi, Beatrice. Hi, Mr. Kabir. Hi, Dr. Chris.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good
Thank you
evening.
very much for this
Yeah.
opportunity. I just want to share one of my experience. Like it happened 6, 7 years back, and it was for like I got an opportunity to record a voice for an IVR. IVR for the bank. Like so, this happened in Saudi Arabia in 2015 or 14. They need someone who speaks Malayalam. Okay, so this is for customer. When someone calls customer care support, there should be pre-recorded IVR.
Right, right.
So I was been listening to your session that sometimes our voice can get earned money for us. So it happened like for me also. So I just want to share that experience with you guys, and I would like to improve my voice further, like what we are listening to Chris. This is just to share an experience happened to me out of my voice.
Yeah. Salman, I'll also explain about the IVR for those who are like here. The aspect of IVR, the interactive voice response system, the way you record, it makes a huge difference. Like the numbers have to be monotonous. If it's not monotonous, then finally, when you hear the number, it'll sound very funny because that's the amount of training you put into whether you're going to be a IVR artist or a normal commercial voice artist or a normal person. So these three people will do in a different fashion. If you have, say, token number 106, and on the IVR, if it's a common person recording, then probably it would sound like token number 106 because it's not monotonous. But if it's monotonous, then it'll sound token number 106. So, all those aspects of how much space, how monotonous it should be, all these things have to work when you're recording an IVR. So, these things will give you an edge over the others, which will get a faster approval, a better pay.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. It
You're
happened to
welcome.
me also. I just tried to listen to many of the IVRs, and this was in Malayalam. So the plan was supposed to have in multiple languages. So, I was
Right.
being chosen to speak Malayalam. And what happened finally, none of the agency or the sound engineers doesn't know Malayalam, so they don't know how the Malayalam pronounce, and they don't know how to judge my voice. And finally it happened, and they gave me some other opportunities also.
Oh,
It
very
was
nice.
just to share with you the experience which I have with my voice before. That's it.
Yeah. For
Thank you,
many,
Dr. Chris.
for the Malayalam listening audience, for many years, you would have heard my voice on Malayalam commercials as probably the famous one, which I did for more than about 9 years, was Malabar Golden Diamonds celebrate the beauty of life. Or probably you would have
MashaAllah.
listened to Joy Alucas, world's favorite jeweler. So all those commercial voices, it was so much rewarding to know that it was for many, almost about 9, 10 years. I kept hearing whenever I used to drive, and when I drive in Kerala, I do listen to my own voice, probably on Club FM, where you listen to, you are listening to Club FM 94.3, or such kind of liners. You do it and you listen to it again and again, gives you a kind of a rewarding happiness. So, my 20, 23 years, I got a chance to listen to myself and felt so nice on radio, on television, or probably on videos or different levels. It gives you that kind of a happiness where you listen to your voice and you feel that, yeah, you've done something good.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr.
You're
Chris.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That's wonderful. So we have our audience listeners, anyone to have questions or share insights, want to welcome Sunita, all, and Krishna. Thank you for joining all. Please do raise your hands. If Thank you so much. This is an awesome session going on, and we are thankful for all of the enlightenment. We do want to. Oh, I see a raised hand. Sunita want to join? Come up. You have questions, Sunita? Okay. So then I do have a question, if I may, Dr. Chris.
Yes,
So
please.
when you're inflecting the different tones, like the example you use, those examples, what are some ways that what were you thinking? Like, I'm going to inflect here and not there, and is that all beforehand, or is it just natural? How does that look in what your thinking process is there?
Okay, so here it comes on styling your voice. Many a times, when you listen to a particular voice, you see that that voice identity of that person is there. So the mindset of a person really matters. So when you're doing a commercial voiceover, there are things which needs to be very robotic or maybe very emotional. So those aspects will actually bring in the thoughts of where to stress, how to stress, and all that. Otherwise, you have your own style. So that styling, or the client will say that I want it this way, or probably you have voiced it in some way, and the client says no, I want a difference. So then you get to change it. So before what the audience listen to your voice, probably it has gone through 5 or 6 vetting, where the person himself would be vetting. The sound engineer would suggest that no, I want it this way, or probably the client would say, or the agency would say, I want it that way. So maybe 3 or 4 different types is always given. Those are called takes. So we usually give about 3 takes for every recording, so that the person can choose the best they want. So the mindset actually is a style what you develop on your own. So you will have your style.
Hey, thank you. Yes, that makes sense. It's kind of understood now. Thank you. And I guess we can go to Kabir. Would you like to have share insights or have any questions at this time before we take look at taking parting notes?
No, I think we have 10 more minutes for the parting notes, but before that, we know all the speakers down there.
But Kabir,
You
can
can
you
directly
repeat?
interact with.
Yeah, I think Vinod has a question.
Hi, Vinod. Thank you. Yes, do come up and share. Thank you.
Hi, Beatrice.
Hi, Vinod. Tell me.
Hi, Dr. Chris. Uh, Actually, I came in when you were speaking about the pause, Dr. Chris.
Okay.
So, as a speaker, we have an insight, and that is just I wanted to share. We say that pause is a technique and the message in the silence. So whenever we use a call to action line or a through line or a punch line, after that
Yes.
tell the speakers to count five in your mind or count three at least in your mind and keep your mouth shut once you just give a important message. So when you were speaking about the power of pause and
Yeah.
uh, that so immediately that came to my mind, and that is something we do. But you have an amazing voice, Dr. Chris. I
Thank you
like what
very
is,
much. Thank you very
thank
much.
you very much, and it's really amazing to listen to someone who has such good voice, and I also wish that like what is, we can also get that uh, power behind our voice. Thank you very much, Doctor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The aspect of pauses or the technique of using pauses, it adds more fun to whatever you speak. Let's say if you're looking at a specific point, what we hear creates images in our mind, and the pauses will add more images. So when you add pauses to when you some kind of a speech or a story, it gives in more imagination and leaves more images in the person's mind. So it is a better option always to add those pauses. That gives the whole magic in the way of speaking. And if you avoid the pauses, it'll sound hasty, maybe rushed, or it might not even be comprehended. So that makes the difference. So the magic behind any speech probably is the pause in it.
Wow, that
Thank
is
you, Doctor.
powerful.
Thank you.
Sorry, Vinod. Does that complete your questions and insight, Vinod? Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. That's well, I just wanted to ask one more thing because I
Yes,
got this
please.
opportunity, Doctor. Yeah. So when we are creating this vivid imagery
Yeah.
in a speech, we like what you said. We say that use of metaphors are very powerful. I would like to have your take on what type of words would create better image in someone's mind when you're giving a speech.
Yeah.
What type of
That's the
words? Yes,
yeah,
doctor.
that's the thing which I said, that the pauses do the magic. Even if you don't have any metaphors, even if you don't have any punchline, the pauses can do the magic. Just for an example, if I say a small kind of a passage, or if I'm presenting a story on radio, then probably it may sound like this. And the kind of images which come to your mind, just think how it would be if I had rushed and not given you the space to think. Now, the story goes like this. It was a rainy evening. I was just reading a book. The drops fell on the leaves and they started falling down onto the puddle. The sound of the drops made me get up and walk out in the rain. A few steps forward, I was getting drenched in the beautiful drops, and I felt as if the heaven is showering blessings on me. If I had said it was a rainy evening, I was reading a book, I just saw I heard the sound of the drops falling from the leaves and onto the puddle. I just walked out, and I felt as if the heaven was showering blessings on me. It doesn't mean anything. So the pauses make the difference. You're welcome. You're welcome.
That was amazing demonstration. Um, yeah, so
Yeah,
much for training your voice, and so much goes into using the voice for power and influence. And
exactly.
that's a great examples. Thank you. We would like to ask another question. Any more questions of the audience? You could still have an opportunity. to raise your hand. You would like to share insight.
Announce one thing. Tomorrow, Amin's startup, No Time, is going to have a Chris session. So it's a free demo tomorrow. It's a 5 days session that's going to happen. But the best thing is that, as you all know, Amin's startup, what it does, it is making courses affordable to all. And when once you get a job on it, then you can like continue to repay. But to start or enroll for the course and have the full course, you can enroll it, and it is twice. Like 5 days you get from Chris students, and after that, after this whole month, again you get a reputation that is from Chris itself. But tomorrow, Chris is going to do the demo, so anyone interested can talk to Amin. And Chris, if you can tell slightly a brief of what we would be experiencing, like.
Yeah, sure. Regarding the voice coaching aspect or the course which I offer, it exposes a person to understanding his own voice, getting a feeling of how to warm up your voice, how to get into the breathing exercises, how to understand the modulation and stresses, and how to clarity of thought or clarity of speech, and then moving on a specific, if you're looking at the difference in a normal commercial and the difference in the commercial voiceover or the main voiceover. So voiceover industry as such, getting into podcasts, setting up their own system where you can have a home studio where you can start off. This is on a full-fledged level of the course. On the initial part, we will get exposed to how you can use your voice and where you can use your voice. That's the introductory part, and then you get trained on the specifics on a different level.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. And thank you,
You're
Amin,
welcome.
and team for making that happen. And I think, Beatrice, we can have one more question, right? Rajesh is there, Anub, Aisha, Sunita, Saumya, Tulika, Siddharth, Shemi, and Mr. A. Kumar. Thanks a lot for joining today. Please do raise your hands. I think we have one more question.
Thank you, Kabir. Yes, if there are any other questions, we'll take this moment to bring you to the stage. And if not, it's okay to proceed with any parting notes at this time, Kabir.
No, I would like to hear if Chris is okay, as last time, 2 words of Ghazal, but I haven't asked his permission today. But Chris, if you're okay with it, I would love to hear your voice.
Yeah, sure, sure. By all means. Now, you put me in a point where I have to think which ghazal. Okay. Um, okay, this one of my favorites, and this is penned by Mumtaz Rashid, and the one which I really like the meaning of that also. It goes like this. शहर दर शहर लिए फिरता हूँ तन्हाई को शहर दर शहर लिए फिरता हूँ तन्हाई को और क्या नाम दूं मैं तेरी शनासाई को शहर दर शहर लिए फिरता हूँ तन्हाई को जिस तरफ जाइए है खोखले लफ्जों का हुजूम जगमधा Dani da da ma ga ma ni da da ma ga ma pa ga ma re. Re ga ma pa ma ga re za ni ga ma da ni sa जिस तरफ जाइए है खोखले लफ्जों का हुजूम कौन समझे यहाँ आवाज की गहराई को कौन समझे यहाँ आवाज की गहराई को शहर दर शहर लिए फिरता हूँ तन्हाई को The whole ghazal talks about a person traveling from one city to another with his loneliness. And he's asking his lover who abandoned him, is that what I call your love? And he says, wherever I go, I see very blank words. Who understands the depth of the voice here? And I'm traveling from one city to another, carrying my loneliness along with me. That's the meaning of the ghazal.
Thank you, Chris.
You're
Back to you, Beatrice.
Thank you, Kabir. Thank you, Dr. Chris. That was amazing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was really great. So if we can proceed with parting notes from our
Yes.
panels and from you, Dr. Chris. Um, we can have that.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Every person in this world has a right to voice out what he thinks. And every person has the ability to change his voice to be better. If voice is your identity, because we are living in a world where we talk to each other on the phone more than meeting each other, then at least have a smile while you talk, because it leaves a lasting impact.
It's very lovely, very beautiful. Thank you.
Much.
If we can hear parting notes now from Amin.
Over your post. Thank you.
Sure, sure will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amin. Angelica, would you like to have parting notes at this time, please?
Yes. Thank you very much, Beatrice, for letting me speak, and also Chris. It was a very enlightening today, and it. So thank you for the beautiful song. Culturally motivated morning and bringing insight to different cultures as well as teaching us to use our voices in a better way. People understand our message and to get our message across in a way that seasoned with salt. So back over to you. Thank you.
You're always welcome, Angelica. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Salman, your
We had a conversation today with Kabir, and he informed me we have Dr. Chris today. So I was, very much excited to be in this room today. When we have Dr. Chris with us, the whole room is changing. Like, we get lots of information, lots of insights, and also we had fun. So the voice itself, is bringing everything together. And mashallah, it was very wonderful today. And thank you very much, Dr. Chris, Kabir, Beatrice, Amin, and Chalika, and all of us. We enjoyed very much today. Thank you very much.
You're always welcome, Salman. Alhamdulillah.
thank you, Salman. And Vinod, please share your parting notes.
Chris. And Dr. Chris, I am going to steal two things from you today. One is, if voice is your identity, smile while you talk. This line,
Yes.
beautiful line. And the second was the magic of pause.
Yes.
And I am going to make a keynote on it actually and make sure that I will speak on this, or I will quote you also. I learned this from Dr. Chris. We know the power of pause, but the way you explained it really have made me think, because I am sometimes I get overboard, excited, and speak very fast. But now I will intentionally try to speak slow. Thank you very much, Dr. Chris, and thank you
You're always
everyone,
welcome.
Kabir, Beatrice, Salman, Amin, and all of you. Thank you.
Always welcome. Thank you very much, Vinod.
Yes, thank you, and thank you. And Sakshi, can we have your parting notes, please?
Thank you, Tetris. Yeah, I really love the way Dr. Chris you narrate everything, like the way you change your, like the way you like thin your voice and then you make it thick. Like I just love the way you do it, and that you give that Amitabh Bachchan's like different dialogues, and
Yes.
it was really amazing. So I mean, I am also somebody who really is interested, like me and Kabir. Sometimes Kabir tell me that I also like doing like my voice from low pitch to high pitch and modulating that voice. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to your class so that I can have more details about the same.
Sure, sure. Thank you very much.
Looking forward.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sakshi, for your kind words. And I would like to say too, and agree with all the other comments and parting notes that Dr. Chris, you're a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, and the room does change. So that's just a demonstration. That's a testimony to how the power of voice. So I thank you um, for giving us that insight to use your voice and the techniques for developing. It's just a pleasure. It's a
So,
pleasure. So thank
thank
you.
you very much, and all.
Your notes, I'll continue.
Go on and on. Just how how this life in depth. The takeaway and the value is so applicable and simple. It's even it's the second session, but so much has been imparted. I'm just
Yeah, I'd
I'm
like to add one thing. Tonight, when you get, say, about 5 minutes, listen to your favorite singer and play other songs and just think makes you like that voice. Listen to your favorite, the way he speaks, and you would really understand that there is something in that person's voice which makes you really attracted to that. That's the identity. If you listen to your any other singer singing the same song, probably you would not even accept, because you would just want to listen to it in your favorite singer's voice. That can be a thought which you can take forward, and the next time you listen to any favorite song of your favorite singer, you can thank him in your mind at least with a smile. Yeah, I like that voice.
That is beautiful to show gratitude. I mean, that's well wonderfully put. Thank you. Just the showing gratitude is always a win.
Yes, very much.
Okay, over to you, Kabir.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Beatrice, for taking this show, like conducting it very beautifully, and all the listeners down there. So before like ending the session, I would like to tell I'm blessed to have a coach like opportunity to get a coach like Dr. Chris. And apart from that, Chris voice gym. That's another thing that's going to come soon. That is 15 to 20 minutes of daily warming up your voice, and his coaching sessions are there. And I have two of my coaches here, Vinod Panikar, who is my sales coach, and uh, today Dr. Chris is helping me on my voice. And Chris, if you can just tell about the voice gym, which is going to come in after 1 week after the first session.
Yes.
Can thank you.
Yeah. The aspect of having a gym, why I am specifying everything as the specific aspect is because these are things which you need to take care of. A regular breathing and warming will actually ease your voice throughout the day. You will never have any glitch for speaking throughout the day. So, early morning, a gym where you have a voice warming, breathing exercises, and a few affirmations, it will actually make your voice mindful and make you sound much more mellow, giving stress to the thought that, yes, I'm going to use my voice for making someone better or happy today.
Thank you, Chris. And you can contact me to know when it starts. And we'll be posting on tomorrow also and here also. Uh, then apart from that, if you would like Chris coaching session, do connect to him. Even you can connect to me also. Then for the sessions which on Amin's platform it's going to start, there is a free session. We'll send messages who has come today, or you can personally DM me also. And it's almost the end of the session. So I would like to tell Chris, thanks a lot. And Chris is going to come here. Four more sessions are there. Like we are on our 58th day. Starting, I never knew I'll be able to complete the first 10. The first day was tough, but it's miracles that happen. So we have Rajisha who was there to support on the initial days, and so it is on the 50th day, and I'm we are getting connected to people who I never would have in my life get connected to, and I'm very blessed for that. And there is 42 more days, and so thanks once again, Dr. Chris.
You're always welcome. Thank you, Kabir.
So this is brought to you by Tomorrow Work. The objective of Tomorrow Work is to connect to 100 million entrepreneurs around the world. If you want to volunteer in Chumma Walk, you have to be an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or a businessman. So it is entrepreneur anyway. So you can connect to Mr. Amin. So he'll guide you how it works. And we are conducting three time zone power mornings and one fitness session. So Sakshi and Amin handles the power morning for India. Beatrice has it for the US time zone. It is EST, Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to come up with two more time. I think one more time zone, right, Beatrice, in US?
Yes, yes.
You wanted to. We are
That'll
planning for that.
the Central and Pacific time zones.
Yeah, so those are going to be active. If anyone would like to volunteer you can again get connected to Amin. So, Sakshi, can you just briefly explain in 1 minute what the Power Morning session is about before we end the session?
Sure, Kabir. So basically, power morning session took place for 30 minutes, in which we have 10 minutes for meditation and 20 minutes for habit building. 10 minutes meditation, we relax our body, we relax ourselves, just observe on our thoughts, and just stay focused. after we gain that energy, channelize that energy at one place for 20 minutes, we grab a piece of paper and a pen and we write all the tasks we need to do that day. So it help you in planning your day much better, and it makes your day more productive. After that, after 5 minutes, we also have to prioritize that task so that we know which task is more important and urgent for us to do, and doing it consistently will really give you very good results. So you can join us. We have three time zones as told by Kabir. I'll repeat once again. We have Indian Standard Time Zone, we have Eastern Standard Time Zone, and we have UAE, Dubai Time Zone. And you can check these details on Chumma Walk as well.
Just put Tumawak page link here so that. And Tumawak is a South Indian, like I come from Kerala and we have a language Malayalam. And Chumma means simply walk. And in the north part of India, we Chumma means it's about kiss. So it's a South Indian word, Kerala word. It is simply walk. And why this was coined is that once you simply walk, if you're an entrepreneur, you get very high clarity on what you're doing. So that's how the name came, and this was started in 2019. This is the brief of it. As we always, so it's to the end of the session, and as we always tell, try this time with pauses, and I'll ask Chris whether it has gotten better. So, as we always tell, dream big, aim high, start small. Start very small so that you can easily focus on what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily build a discipline around what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily master what you're doing. Once you do these three things, you can see yourself as a scalable startup. Yes, my dear friend, you are being a high performance entrepreneur, and we are here to support you. Hope that is okay, Chris. Thanks. And with lots of love, a dreamer from this part of the world signing off, PC Kabir. In the count of three, we are closing the room. So everyone can tell, the speakers can tell bye bye. 3, 2, 1.